Well, I'm all packed and I'm ready to fly tomorrow. I have to pick up my older brother from the airport this evening, and then we're going to swap over. He's got a couple of weeks off work and he's going to stay and look after my parents so I can go back to Nepal and sort my things out. When I came, it was exactly a year ago. It wasn't planned. It's a bit strange. It's only after I looked at the ticket that I recognized the date. And I thought, how odd. It's been exactly 1 year since I left Nepal. I'm expecting to experience some amount of culture shock. It was the same when I came westwards a year ago. Things didn't seem familiar. When I say that, primarily I'm talking about the focus, how people live their daily lives, and how they use their time and preoccupy themselves. I mean, in Nepal, well, to start off with, it's a third world country. It's very poor. When you're on the side of a mountain in a small village, then you're not exposed to the same kind of influences that we get in the modern world. There's no television. There's no time to surf the internet. You haven't got all kinds of food to eat. And things like distractions, like movies, entertainment, that sort of thing. So now, after being a year in the West, when I go back to the retreat center, and I will again be surrounded by people who are basically dedicating their entire day to spiritual practice, it's going to feel a little odd, I have to admit. It will again feel unnatural. But there is a beneficial side to it as well. Because here in the West, I'm kind of out of context. I mean, I'm the only monastic in this entire city where we're staying. And I've only met one other monk in the entire Vancouver Island. It's quite a big place. And that's over 100 kilometers away. Also, there aren't very many Buddhists. I hardly ever meet any Buddhists. There are people with some kind of passing interest in mindfulness or meditation. They're not really interested in Buddhism. They just like the benefits of doing meditation because it makes them feel happy or relaxed. That's a different thing altogether. I know one woman here who's quite serious about her practice. And I said to her, I really haven't met any other people who are sincerely interested in Buddhist practice and meditation. And she was quite surprised. But it's true. I mean, even the people that I meet who are sort of, you could call them Buddhists maybe. Well, they're not really in it for liberation. And in fact, they don't really believe in past and future lives and karma, cause and effect. So as you know, without that belief, then you really can't be called a Buddhist. There are these 4 seals that signify the authentic Dharma. And one of these is a belief in liberation and enlightenment. I did meet a young man, and he's quite interested in meditation. I think he sincerely wants to practice, but he also finds it incredibly difficult to believe that there is such a thing as awakening, as in enlightenment or liberation from samsara. And so you couldn't really call him a Buddhist. Now there are some people who have respect for Buddhism. So when they see a Buddhist monk, they see it to be a positive thing. But for most people here, they don't even know I'm a Buddhist. Most people think I'm a Hare Krishna, which is quite funny. It just goes to show what a difference there is in the environment. So really, I feel kind of out of context here. Every time I step out on the street, then I draw people's attention I look weird, I look abnormal. It's like, why is he wearing those funny clothes? But when I return to Nepal, it'll be a very different situation. Because there are many monks and nuns. And also, many people have great respect for religion and spirituality. In fact, the Nepalese, they have respect for almost every religion. They don't really see them to be different. They will bow down to Jesus Christ or Muhammad. They have respect for Buddhism and Hinduism, but they kind of mix everything up. All becomes very blurred, as if there's no difference between these things. But the fundamental difference is that they have respect. They see it to be something positive. They see this search for spiritual knowledge to be a very high and pure goal. But that's not the case here in the West. If people have an interest in meditation, it's not really a spiritual interest. It's only about what I can get out of meditation, how it can calm my mind or make me more happy. And also it's seen to be something that's kind of therapeutic or clinical, not religious. It's almost as if scientists have discovered something new called meditation. But they've got to give it a different name because it can't be associated with anything that's old-fashioned and outdated like spirituality. So they call it mindfulness. And they talk about neuroplasticity and the benefits of meditation and how it creates dopamine and serotonin in the brain, that sort of thing. But I've always found that quite funny, really. Because the benefits of meditation is something that's been taught in spiritual practices for thousands of years. But we in the West are kind of like that. We like to invent our own things, and we like to believe that we've discovered everything. It's a kind of hangover from our imperial expansion, where we used to rule the world. But these days things are changing. We haven't got the prominence we once had. We're no longer the smartest people in the world. Well, I'd better go back. I'm gonna have to pick up my brother soon. And when I'm on the road, then I'll try to send you some videos. Might be a bit of entertainment. A bit like a travelogue, I suppose. These kind of travelogues do very well on the internet these days and YouTube. They get many followers. It's the sort of thing people are interested in. They're not really interested in spirituality. It's all just a form of entertainment. Another commodity. Some new experiences to acquire. But that's not what Buddhism's all about. But I'm not sure you will understand what I mean by that. So anyway, see you later.